let's sew the front pockets. So separate all your pattern pieces, lay them out on the table to be easy to see. So these are the pocket bags, like this. And now the pockets will be sewn to be pretty on the inside. You will sew them with a French seam, so there are no raw edges or just overlocked edges. And then they will be pretty when you put the trousers on, when you put the pants on. Flip the lower pocket bags with the wrong side up and place the facings on top of them. So these pieces are wrong sides together. For the upper facings and upper pockets, you will leave the pocket bag with the right side up and just put the facing with the wrong side down on it. Pin everything in place. Sew the facings to the pocket bags with a regular straight stitch first, and then around the edges with a longer stitch, just to hold everything in place. So this is sewn like this. Now, just to make it easier to do the French seams, to reduce the bulk, just trim 1/2 centimeter or 1/4 of an inch off the lower edge of each facing. Not the bags, just the facings. Just trim this just a tiny bit. Okay, now we're going to put the pieces together. This is how the pockets will be after they are sewn to the pants. So the upper pocket bags on top and the lower pocket bags on the bottom. But for us to sew them with a French seam, we need to sew them like this. So just flip the pieces around so that the facings are on the outside of both pieces. And we will start sewing here and here. Sew this with 1/4 of an inch seam allowance or 1/2 centimeter. Stitch lines a good press just to set everything. And now you are going to turn this so that the seam allowance is on the inside. So just turn it around, flip it around, and now the seam allowance is on the inside. Just poke that corner really out. Also the seam line, squeeze it well. I like to use this bamboo thing to do it. And now press it again. Squeeze it, just squeeze the seam line. Squeeze the seam line and now press it. Give it a good press. stitch again here at 1/4 inch or 1/2 centimeter. Okay, you can use a seam jumper just to help your machine get started if there's a bulk. And now just sew it like this. This is a French seam, and now your raw edges of the seam allowance edges are enclosed inside the pocket. And now your pocket should look like this. Okay, get your front pieces and each pocket. This is how the pocket will be after it's sewn. So grab the pocket, open it up, and align the slanted edge of the upper pocket with the slanted edge of the front piece of the pants. Okay, right sides together and pin the slanted edge. Just remember to move the lower pocket bag out of the way. Draw a line here, like a corner, to help you sew a pivot here. So just 1 centimeter in, just draw a straight line right at this corner, like here. And do the same for the other pocket. So just grab the upper pocket with a slanted edge and pin it to the front. Draw a straight line, just 1 centimeter or 3/8 inch, perpendicular to the side seam. Just draw it there, just 1 centimeter in, to know where to sew. And now let's stitch the pocket opening. 1 centimeter in from the raw edge or 3/8 inch. When you reach the bottom corner of the pocket opening, pivot right here. Just when you reach the line that you drew, just pivot and sew exactly on that line up to the edge. Then just make a diagonal cut, a really small diagonal cut in that corner. Press everything. Now just press the seam allowance open like this. You can use a wooden clapper. It really helps to press the seam open. And that little cut in the bottom edge will help you to open the seam allowance here and just turn the pocket bag towards the wrong side of the front. Bring that little corner out there. The cut helps you do this. And just press this really well. Press this flat with steam. And now you are going to top stitch here the front. Now top stitch here. 1 millimeter in from the edge, and then another top stitch line parallel to the first one. Now lay everything flat on the table, align the pocket with the front, pin the pocket bag to the front piece, and just sew this with a long straight stitch just to baste it in place, just to hold everything together. So the top and the sides of the pocket. Here and on the top. And your front pockets are all done. They look pretty on the inside with the French seam, and you're ready to move on.